Nation, we got CRL Open 2, and here we go. It's Cumberland, it's St. Clair Green. Let's get straight into it. Knight, Polar, and Next going up against Jazzy, Arju, and Zai.
And it is best of 5 for the first time today. Both teams and you have to get 3 wins to move on to the next round. And both teams now at this point in the tournament are very, very warmed up, feeling good. So we should have a great series on our hands. And nothing too crazy going on. I mean, best of 5, best of 3, 2 completely different games. I mean, so much more to think about. There's an attack coming out from Cumberland to get a demo. There is a Jazzy or clearance. Seems like both teams kind of just feeling each other out, seeing what the other team wants to do. Nothing crazy going on in the first minute. There's gonna be a shot on target. Zai finds the save. Now it's gonna be Saints that's gonna put on a bit of pressure on Cumberland.
Yeah, again, it's just kind of a fight for mid-control, but right now, Cumberland, you know this roster if you follow the CRL scene. Cumberland are very good roster in their own right. A lot of people do know the name Polar, so right now, it's going to be Cumberland who had the first attack, and they are playing this so calculated, but it's going to be cleared off by Jazzy. It should be a passive design, and that's going to be it. Can the double get happened? No. Not quite. I'd be stumbling over my words there. These attacks are going by so quickly.
Yeah.
And that's because right now, you're really trying to catch both teams off guard. In this level of competition, Cumberland, they're a well-known team in CRL. They're going to have people back ready for shots no matter what you try to put on. So both teams, it's basically a race of speed in terms of how quickly can we get someone out of position and then transition over to converge onto a shot.
And from what we've seen from the Saints, they've made a couple of mistakes here and there in the previous matches. This is a match and moving forward where you cannot have any mistakes because every single mistake will lead to disaster. And so far, so good. Neither team making any of those mistakes, so no goals found on either side. Both teams playing very solid Rocket League, but the attack's gonna start here. Shot on target from Jazzy, an easy save there from Next, and now it's gonna be Knight starting the attack, but it looks like Zai's gonna be the first to the ball there. Doesn't get the best starts there, but Jazzy takes it over his defender. Arju gonna have a lot of space to work with the shots on target. The bump was just half a second too late, so the save was made by Next there. Still the Saints showing a bit of life here in this game one, putting on a bit of pressure, but Cumberland playing very, very solid, not overextending and playing very, very solid defense. A bit of a double commit there, but they're able to get on top of it, so no further opportunity for the Saints here. 3 minutes already gone by and no goals. Not something we've seen too much today, but when it's two such good teams, that's not the craziest thing ever.
But they're just waiting for the first team to really mess up position-wise, and this could be it. Arju, a very crucial 50 as it forces the ball into Zai's hands, and that's great because the Saints there, if that 50 doesn't go their way, they could be looking at a shot on target with nobody on their back post. And now working back onto the offense is Arju, but it's going to be a great job of Polar to cut it out. Right now, Cumberland, they're just trying to play keep away with a minute 45 left to go, trying to survive.
Oh, there's a chance. Zai gets the shot on target. You can see him sneaking in there, and the defender had to go for the ball. The party was destroyed. I think that's a false message. I think Cumberland University just got destroyed. Beautiful goal there from Zai, gives Saints a nice lead, and Saints can look to continue to ride this momentum and take this first game in the series.
A decent kickoff right now from Cumberland. I was going to say maybe they capitalize on that opportunity, but right now St. Clair, they're up 1-0. They cannot afford to just let the lead slip away from their hands just like that. But if it's going to be anyone to do so, you think Cumberland, they have a pretty good shot of making it so.
Absolutely. A minute 23 left. Arju going to just flip it up there, force out a pretty easy save, but puts the ball in a dangerous position. It's all Cumberland on the defensive end, though. Able to get full control of this one. A nice 50 there. Coming out, double commit there from the Saints. Kind of messes up their positioning a little bit, but Zai gets a nice touch. Switches the play to the other side. Arju is the first one there, and Saints might have a bit of an attack. A little bump comes a little bit too late. Saints need to get back. Here's a nice attack from Cumberland. Perfect defense from Jazzy. 1-on-2 situation. Able to stop the attack in its tracks, and the defense from the Saints has been spectacular so far this game. Doesn't feel like they've ever been in real big danger other than maybe 1 or 2 times, and even when they have been, the crucial saves came out when needed.
Well, I think right now St. Clair, they're looking a whole lot more composed in the midfield. We saw Jazzy in a little bit of an awkward scenario earlier and elected to just take the smart decision to back off because he didn't have his third man yet. I feel like in past series, we would have seen Jazzy commit to maybe looking for a beat, but you really can't risk it with a team like Cumberland right now in front of you. So Polar off the sidewalk, going to see if he can start anything, but no boost, fakes it out. A good job, and this should be another fake as well. It's going to leave it up tonight. Some decent offense, but it should be readable for the Saints.
Yeah, and with 10 seconds left, I mean, this game has gone by in a blink. Saints gonna take a 2-0 lead there to close this one out. Arju gets the finish. Beautiful team play there as Saints are gonna take game one.
Arju, are you kidding me? The team pinch from the ceiling as well. Absolutely disgusting stuff from Saints Green, but they have their nail in the coffin, barring a kickoff goal, which so far does not seem like it's going to happen.
No.
Didn't want to cast a cursor just yet, but it should be killed and put down. Cumberland down their first game. The Saints looking pretty comfortable in a game one where I would expect scores like 2-0, 2-1 to be all the more common when you're going up against high-level competition.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to get too many fireworks here in this series. Not going to be no 6-5, 5-4. I think it's going to be pretty low scoring because these teams are just so good. These mistakes happen so often. And I feel like the Saints' goals didn't really come off mistakes. It was just great offensive play. They were able to get in the right position at the right time, get the nice finish, and I think that was the key to them taking this game. But we're heading right back into game two where Saints take a 2-0 lead in the series.
I think sometimes a lot of people, they really sort of write off the fact that, yes, against high-tier competition, you're not going to get away with too many hero plays, but we saw Arju connect with, I believe it was Jazzy on one of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what? When enemy teams aren't expecting it, yeah, you can draw it out. A lot of the times when players of higher caliber or higher skill levels see a play like that developing, sometimes they wait for it to happen. Right now, St. Clair, they're waiting to score, and they have a good offense starting off early.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've started the second game very well, and Jazzy putting on a lot of pressure. Cumberland, I feel like they didn't get too much going on the offensive end the last game. Yes, their defense was pretty solid, only give up 2 goals, and this time Zai won't let that happen. Scores a very early goal for the Saints as they get a very early lead.
Yeah, again, there's not too much to break down there. That's just a flip reset double. There's not much you can do if the backboard's free and open. Cumberland, they weren't able to get a player up to it, and if you leave it open for Zai, 9 times out of 10, that one's should be dropping in. And I only say that because they missed on a couple of attempts earlier, but I don't think with them being this warmed up, that's going to be the case anymore.
Yeah, I think the longer the day goes, the less of those little mishaps we're going to see, and see if Cumberland can put a goal up themselves. I mean, they've been held shutout for 6 minutes now.
Yeah.
St. Clair's defense has been solid. There was a nice opportunity for Knight, but Zai is there with the save. Finally, some life here for Cumberland University, showing a bit of attacking prowess, but Saints, they're on defense, easily gonna dispose off that one as they look to double their lead.
Yeah, again, the ground pinch not fast enough, but now Cumberland, they're back on the attacking side. What I'm a little scared of, though, is their players are getting a little low boost. If Polar doesn't get that chow there and he gets bumped out instead, that ball gets left down for Jazzy, that could have been kind of dangerous, but the delay is just able to let Cumberland get back on side. They stay composed. They're able to fight back on the defense. But for right now, it seems like the ball has been in the orange half for a little more of the last minute recently.
Yeah.
Arju, trying to start the playoff, is going to see if he can find any difference to that statement, but so far, it's going to have to be left to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cumberland trying to get something going, put on a bit of pressure, but could not find the goal. And now there's a good opportunity for the Saints. There's Zai flying in, maybe gonna hold it back for a teammate. No Polars there. A very crucial touch, which definitely stopped a goal. Counter-attack gonna be started off here by Cumberland. And they get anything going. There's a demo onto Arju next in a beautiful position. This could be a chance for Cumberland. Just an unfortunate touch there. I feel like that's an opportunity you want back if you're Cumberland. Could have definitely been a goal scored on that attack, but it's going to be the Saints back in control, and it looks like a lot of space to work with. Zai going to pass it down to a teammate, and there's Jazzy with the finish. Saints go up 2-0.
Well, you don't draw them up usually any better than that. Zai off the ceiling, elects to use the pass to flick the ball back down to Jazzy, who's already pre-jumped, already up, already ready, and beats the Cumberland defender. 1, 2, 3 of them to the back of the net. Not very much that you can do there. A great shot by Zai, and right now, or sorry, a great pass by Zai, great shot by Jazzy, and right now, Saints, they might run away with it right now if they're not careful inside of Cumberland to really watch out for some of these plays developing.
Yeah, I feel like Cumberland might be getting frustrated a little bit. They've gone 8 minutes now without a goal, and you know, when you're winning all day, when you're on cruise control, and you go up against a team like the Saints, you cannot put the goal in the net. It becomes very mentally tough. You just say, guys, what do we do? Patrick, if you're inside of Cumberland, what do you do?
Well, it's hard because I've been seeing Cumberland utilize the fact that their first man is getting physical. We've seen demos from both sides here.
Yeah.
They are putting Saints back on the back foot when they go on attack. I think the problem is right now the Saints, because they have this lead, they can afford to basically just all sit back and just wait and play more reactive than proactive.
Yeah.
Because when you have 3 people, it doesn't take very much for one person to force the ball in one direction, and you can have your second man forcing for your teammate on defense to then clear it out. Then forces Saints to have to make plays on offense, but you don't really have to overcommit too much when you have that 2-goal lead.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you there, Patrick. The Saints definitely in full control of this one. I think the main thing they should look to do here is not give up a goal. Don't give Cumberland any momentum to work with. Just keep them here, keep them in this goalless drought. As 1 minute away from this match ending, there's a demo on to Arju coming out. Jazzy going a bit too far, has no boost, forced to back up. There's a shot off the crossbar, and there is Polar. That bit of a life for the Saints. As you said, Polar, kind of the best well-known name here on Cumberland, makes the play seemingly out of nothing.
I mean, again, I know all 3 of these guys, right? I mean, they're recognizable names in the scene. Polar is recognizable because he was one of the first people I really casted for when going into my first cast for Saints Gaming. But then again, you know, all 3 of these players have the caliber to get it done. They have the mechs to get it done. It's just about the understanding of team play right now that is really putting the Saints up and over.
Oh, that's a third.
The musty from the ceiling as well. Zai, are you kidding me? That's absolutely gross. Off the ceiling. Doesn't have very much boost, so you can allow the musty flick to really propel that ball forward if you don't have an option to dribble any longer. It's a great job there from Zai, recognizing which mechanic to use at the right time, and that's something that only a high skill player as himself can really pull off.
Yeah, and that's a nail, might be a nail in the coffin there for the side of Cumberland. Now down 3-1, but they did get that goal that they so much were chasing. Just a little bit too late there. I like that little mid-air bump there from Zai, making sure no chance that Cumberland can get a goal and come back in this game with 10 seconds and counting. Looks like game 2 is going to be all St. Clair. 3-1 this time, so a couple more goals, but still seems nonetheless like a very comfortable game for the Saints, where for more time than not, they outplayed their opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now, Saints, you know, they look very comfortable, and I think they're making very good decisions when up on the offense. I'll break down another one later if we get the chance. I was going to say that might be another team pinch in, but no. Save comes through. Cumberland, however, the result will stay the same. Now, what I was going to break down, let's talk about that play where Zai could have went for the ball, immediately looks for the bump instead, and finds Arju, who can continue the offense. The reason why this is important is because Jazzy hasn't rotated yet. So when Zai's looking at this ball right now, and it's high, he knows, hey, the chances of me beating the defender to force a 50 in my favor are very low, because he has the high ground.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Well, my route of quickest choice, the quickest route possible to create a play, isn't to actually go for the ball. Because if I lose this 50, Arju's the only one back, and you put him in a 2v1 scenario on a counter. When there's 30 seconds left, a goal like that could really swing the momentum. Absolutely. So Zai makes the play instead to go for the bump. And that's amazing because then Polar can't get the clear, can't find a teammate in next, who I believe was on the left side ready to start the counter. Could be wrong, could have been the third. But the point is, you go for that instead. It frees up Arju to continue your offense, and then it also gives Jazzy time to rotate back. Because he's not going to get bumped, he's not going to get demoed. The 2 other players are ready for that counterattack. They're not thinking about bumping Jazzy back on the defense. So it's a great heads-up play from Zai, and it solidifies that game for St. Clair. It's something that isn't on the stat sheet, but usually goes unnoticed. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't go unchecked here.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you. That was just great game knowledge, knowing how much time's left, making sure that the win is sealed. But speaking of sealing wins, Saints looking to seal the series in this third game. Almost get a nice start there with a goal, but Cumberland now on the ropes of getting swept. They really need to pick things up here. I think scoring a first goal for them is kind of the only step in the right direction, because Saints, once they get these leads, they kind of do not let go of them. So let's see if Cumberland can maybe find an early goal, or is it going to be Saints starting off hot again? Looks like the Saints going to be on the attack to start off this third game, as they so often are. If they can get an early goal, that would be great for them, but maybe a counterattack here for Cumberland. Jazzy is back in time to get the clearance, is going to be able to do so, gets it over one defender. Second defender will be there in time, but there's Arju on the follow-up, gets it into the corner. Saints just going to sit back, let this one go. 1 minute of play went by very, very quickly with not a lot of things happening.
Yeah, I think right now St. Clair, you know, they're trying to see if they can set the tempo, but I would say they're not really in a situation where they really need to. I'm worried that right now, if you overcommit and you give something to Cumberland early, you might be throwing away potentially the game. And again, very early on, you don't usually want to see attempts like this go by the wayside. St. Clair, they're starting to open up right now, though, and they look very comfortable.
Oh, that's a beautiful goal by Zai. I mean, Saints have shot after shot after shot after shot, and Cumberland just cannot have enough defenders in time. Zai could have went for the shot or the pass to himself there. Decided to go for the pass to himself, gets over two defenders. Beautiful goal there for the Saints to take the lead.
Yeah, well, the double tap's all they needed, but right now it's going to be St. Clair. They need to try to force the issue, try to see if they can hold Cumberland back, just kind of suffocate them in their own end, but that is going to have to remain to be seen. Next, off the sidewall, going to try to see if he can start up anything, but no, not quite. And I'm noticing this from St. Clair right now on the defense. They're just sitting back. It's like what they were doing with Durham when they were trying to force the game out. They were just sitting all three back, making sure they're playing a little more reactive than proactive. They have the players ready on the back post, on the back wall to deal with everything, and then it allows for easy clears and rotation as well.
Absolutely. Now there's two Saints on the ball there in the corner, and they're going to continue this attack. Nice defense by Knight, but as we said before, Saints having the lead have been playing so well from in front, and Cumberland just struggling to find goals in this series. They've had one goal, and it's been over 13 minutes of a game time almost here, so definitely Cumberland need to pick things up offensively, but Saints putting on so much pressure. Even though they're not scoring goals on most of these attacks, they're just making Cumberland have to play defense, and there's going to be another attack here. And when you're playing defense, it's hard to start an attack, because it's going to be Knight finally getting at a bit of space here, but the defense is great from the Saints still. Polar has a good amount of room to work, but Zai finds the initial save. Can the Saints get rid of this one? Yes, it's going to be Arju getting rid of that one. 2 minutes to go between the Saints and moving on to the next round, to the winners finals.
Yeah.
That's exactly where they want to be. Cumberland have all of the pressure now. They need to find something desperately, and now might be the chance. Polar has a shot there on target. Jazzy's able to find a save and clear that one out. Minute 45 and ticking. Cumberland trying to get a goal badly.
Well, they have to cause the issue, and they need to do it right now. The fake underneath, and it's going to be the wave dash that almost finds the shot, but no. These are really good attacks, and Polar, I even saw one earlier where he just delayed it out past the Saints defender to force the pass underneath. But right now, Cumberland, they're being suffocated. How much longer can St. Clair hold out? Because now attacks are starting to really drop. We're seeing shots go in. We're seeing them drop. And Polar from the ceiling is going to make the temperature freeze as he puts St. Clair on ice. 1-1.
Much needed goal there for Cumberland, and Polar yet again being the goal scorer here for Cumberland. Now minute 20, the tables might have flipped. Still Saints very, very close to moving on. Just need to win this game. Cumberland, they win this one, they put themselves on a track for a reverse sweep. Arju going to be the one to start the attack here. Gets it over his defender, but bump isn't there in time. Jazzy though going to restart this attack. Good defense from the side of Cumberland, but is it good enough? Yes, it's going to be Knight going to be the one to start this attack now. The Saints looking a bit discombobulated on the defensive end, but there is going to be Zai. That there's a demo onto next as well. That's going to give Saints a lot of space to work with, and it's going to be a dangerous pass right in front of the net, and Knight able to find the save there. Zai's going to be first to the ball, just decides to go for a reset. All three Saints back as Arju gets it over to Zai in the air, who gets the touch over the defender. Ball is right in front of the net. Polar completely whiffs on that one, but nobody's there to follow up from the Saints. That was an opportunity you have to take advantage of if you're the Saints, and instead, the other way go Cumberland.
Cumberland is on fire right now. The miss, and it's actually going to cause Jazzy to have to react a little too quickly. Next, he has no boost, so what's the best decision to make? Ground pinch, and it's an absolutely fast one. It rips into the bottom corner and puts Cumberland ahead.
And now a bit of life here for Cumberland, up to 1, on track to win this game. Now as they've been able to overcome the Saints' early lead and take the advantage. Maybe one more chance here for the Saints, but it looks like Cumberland don't even want to allow that attack to happen. We've seen a buzzer beater already happen for the Saints today once to push it to overtime. They're going to look to do it again here. Jazzy has to win this 50, but doesn't look like it's going to go their way. The clear is there for Cumberland, and Saints have one final shot at it. The ball cannot touch down. It cannot be spiked, but that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be Cumberland taking their first game of the series.
I'm absolutely proud of Cumberland for forcing the issue there. A beautiful play, as it was Jazzy who was thinking that next was going to go high. So he shows his intentions a little bit too early. Yeah. Uses his first 2 jumps and immediately exposes, hey, Nex, I'm defending high. What are you going to do about it? What he doesn't know is that Nex is on 0 boost. So the only way Nex can actually go is down. Wow. It's just 2 things that work in favor for Cumberland, and Nex is able to deliver on a killer ground pinch. Gives Cumberland a game, but in a best of 3 series, when you're facing your tournament upper bracket life on the line, Cumberland is still under pressure. They need to try to cause the reverse sweep in a best of 5, and it's not very easy when you look at the competition you're going up against.
No, I mean, the Saints were in control of that one. Kind of a couple goals that came out of nowhere for Cumberland, and very good counter-attacking goals. I think if you're the Saints, that's something you can't let happen, where like that second goal we saw, it was a misplay from Cumberland that led to a very easy opportunity. Kind of, I think Saints didn't expect that to happen, so expect the unexpected, I guess. But it's gonna be Saints expecting to score the first goal here. A nice defense there from Cumberland as Jazzy gonna look to start the attack here for the Saints. There is Zai flying through the air. No real opportunity just yet.
Well, think about St. Clair right now. They need to get flashy. They need to set the tempo, and they need to do it quick. They need to make sure that at the same time, they don't allow Cumberland to get into this match. Should be a free shot for Polar.
And there it is.
And it's an absolute slot down to the bottom right. Polar, he's been able to deliver time and time again, and he does so to put Cumberland up 1-0.
A beautiful shot right into the bottom corner. Impossible to save, and just out of nowhere again, just an easy pass into the open field and a beautiful shot by Polar. Saints looking a little bit shaken up after losing that last game. For the first time this series, it's going to be Cumberland who are the first goal scorers. They put themselves on great track to pull off the reverse sweep.
Well, now you got to answer back, and it's going to be Knight who tries to actually force the issue back onto St. Clair. A good job to delay time and almost has the free shot, but now St. Clair going down the field. Jazzy, the flick, trying to find Arju, but not quite. And now Zai, all alone in the backfield. Forces early. He knows Jazzy's back, but can he defend the double tap? Yes, just barely squeaks by. Cumberland, they're looking more dangerous as this game goes on. St. Clair, you got to make them uncomfortable at some point, but right now, it's just not happening. Zai, the clear back out. Jazzy in the midfield has to try to force an issue, and he's going to do just that. A good demo as it at least ices the floor and lets Zai have some free ground. The beat, maybe the dunk, no. Polar with a clear, crucial 50. The pass back to midfield, but Next has control. Low 50 from Jazzy, and that should set up Zai, but it's a good touch from Knight to keep the ball grounded.
Absolutely, and it feels like the Saints just don't have anything going for themselves. After that first goal last game, it feels like all of their game plan has just not been working out, and Cumberland have definitely been outplaying them for the last 7 or 8 minutes of Rocket League here. They have this 1-0 lead here, so feeling very good about this reverse sweep if you're a fan of Cumberland, but still, anything can happen. 3 minutes to go. Definitely do not expect the Saints to go down without a fight, but they just cannot seem to get anything going. Every 50 is going Cumberland's way, and it's just very hard for the Saints now. You need to stay focused, stay true to your game plan, and keep going until you find a goal.
We very well might see that right now as we see the pass from the ceiling, but it doesn't end up getting found. And right now, Next is going to try to force the offense. Zai with a clear touch out to Jazzy, and now dribbling through, has Arju to his back, so we can elect to try to play a 50 or play it slow, but no, instead gets beat. Polar with a great heads-up play, able to just clear that ball down. And again, Arju with 0 boost has to make a play. It's going to be the RC reset into the musty flick, but it's not going to create any space. Polar with a little bit of a rouge ball, and that's going to work against Cumberland.
What?
You don't see it happen very often.
That's bad.
But even at this level, mistakes can be made. I mean, Polar, he just gave a free one up.
I mean, Polar, who has been playing so well for Cumberland, that's a mistake. Saints couldn't get anything
Such
going.
a mental chalker.
They could not get anything going their way, and they just get a free goal out of nowhere. But Polar gonna answer right back. He does not care. He gave up a goal. He just likes to score many goals. One in his net, one in the other net. No problem for Polar.
Hey, you know what? To get yourself out of a defensive woe, what do? You shoot, you shoot, you shoot, and you hope one drops. Making up for his mistake, gets Cumberland back into the lead early with 2 minutes left to go. It's an issue they don't have to worry about being tied up against now. But Zai creating space, reset over one, but no, just barely blocked out by Knight. The Saints, they need to force pressure. Arju, can he find the bump? No, not quite. And it's going to be the offense of St. Clair that has to wait just a little bit longer.
And Cumberland's defense, other than that one mistake, has been very, very solid. St. Clair haven't really got too many dangerous opportunities at all, and it's just a great job from Cumberland these last 2 games. They've really turned it up a notch, and they're showing they can compete with the best of the best. But now, maybe Saints gonna try and find a goal. A beautiful pass from Arju to Zai. Saints, having completely 0 options this entire match, can just, in the flip of a switch, pull off a beautiful goal like that.
I mean, the reset to the redirect, sometimes, like I said earlier, when your plays are a little too clinical and they're too readable, you pull out the hero play. And sometimes it works. With the mechanics that are on display from this St. Clair Green team, they definitely can flip the switch when they want. But right now, they need to try to see if they can just hold this lead. A little bit of a rouge ball, and hold on. I really think Zai should have been the one to deal with that, but no, maybe a lapse in comms, and right now, Next is going to be the next one up to it. Polar, sidewall, does he have the redirect? No, forced out by Zai. The ground double to force the pass out, but no one's going to be there. Next with the long clear, and this is going to be a huge ball that gets contested. Polar just missing out, and now Knight, he has to burn time. His teammates need boost, has to try to force a 50, and yes, Polar will be the next one to help out. Reset in the corner, trying to force a pass. The man is open, but a great heads-up play by Jazzy, and now the Saints, they're on a 2-on-1. They just need to force a bump, but no! It's just completely missed. They thought about the pre-jump shot instead of having that second man go for the bump and allowing the shot to fall through. St. Clair, they choose the wrong option, and with 30 seconds left, if they don't sort it out quick, they very well could be paying. However, Knight, low on boost, now has to force a clear. 39 in the tank, and he's going to get beat over top. Now, Next in the corner gets beat as well. All of a sudden, St. Clair, they're winning their 50s, but when is it going to translate to a shot? Can they do it? Archer, reset, over one, it's massive! A free shot, no! Second chance, no! Next, keeping Cumberland alive! 4 seconds left to go, and who knows how this one's going to end out. It's going to be Knight who likes to keep it up. A miss on the backboard would be absolutely detrimental here, but no, Zai clears out the reset. Polar, he has another chance at this, but no, Jazzy, smart to play to the ground, and we have overtime.
Absolute insanity. If Saints didn't forget about the main objective, the ball could have maybe closed out this series, but completely chaos in this game for both teams, showing why they are here. And here's gonna be an attack coming out from Next. Arju finds a big save, and it might lead to a counterattack. Are there any defenders back? Zai looking for the finish, but Polar back time. Jazzy looks for the shot. Beautiful defense from both sides. Just complete chaos left and right as both teams showing out here on the biggest stage.
I mean, they have to show up when it matters, and Zai has a beat, but no, Polar just sitting back calm and composed on the defense. This is so crucial. The flip off the ceiling. Jazzy, are you kidding me? Reads the offensive play, beats it out. Zai with a free ball, and Polar's back and doesn't have very much boost. Gets bumped out. Knight is going to be the one to defend, but no. Able to just
here's Polar.
Arju, it's just back and forth. We're playing a game of volleyball here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm all here for it. The ceiling pinch, it's going to get by the defense. Now Zai in the corner. Can he force a play? No, not quite. And it's going to be St. Clair who are still trying to force an offense.
Absolutely, and so much chaos in this overtime. It's only been a minute. It feels like they've been playing this one forever, as there's going to be an attack here from Polar, who has been kind of the player here, making the plays for Cumberland. But if Saints can shut that down, they have a counterattack here. Zai trying to take it over his defender. Nice defense there from Knight, able to find the save, but there is the shot on target, and the save is not made. Arju gets that one to go, and that's how Cumberland is going to be going to the lower bracket. Let's take a look at it again. Arju shot on target. The save just not there, and the Saints going to be able to take the series.
Sometimes you just got to find the gap in the defense, and I don't think you could fit a ball through such a tight gap as much as Arju just did right there. Absolutely incredible shot. Keeper had no chance, even on near post. Sometimes that's all there is to it. You can only be so good on defense when you don't know what's coming. And right there, it was an absolutely crazy shot from Arju off the sidewall. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that was just a crazy series.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane.
I feel like the Saints definitely got away with it a little bit in that game 4. I feel like maybe Cumberland did play a little bit better, but when it mattered most, they showed up, they showed out. They take the series, they move on to the top bracket winner finals. So one more series, all they need to move on to day 2. And probably their next matchup is going to be even tougher than Cumberland. But Cumberland, hats off to them. That was an amazing performance.
Oh, absolutely incredible. And again, if Saints are going to be playing the way they did, where they give up a game to Cumberland and go close toe-to-toe, you know, when you're up against a school like, well, we'll see in the future, but I think it's probably going to be West Virginia.
Yeah.
But again, they're going up against Purdue right now, who have had a very clean run of their own side of the bracket so far. So either way, you're facing somebody with momentum. And that's not saying that we don't have any, but if they play the way they did against Cumberland, I'm not going to lie, it's definitely going to be a whole lot closer than I think I would have expected.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a couple of mistakes here and there from the Saints. A relatively good play, but felt like for a while in that Cumberland series, especially game 3s and 4, they really struggled on offense. They could not get anything going their way, but they still stuck through it. They found the goals to close out the series. But I feel like when it's this hard, you need to play perfect defense. They were playing very good defense, but some easy goals from Polar, just solo goals that shouldn't be happening, happened. So I think in their next series, if they can clean up that one-on-one defense, I think that's going to be key to the victory.
Absolutely. There's no other way to say it, but right now we're going to have a small break, and when we come back, it's going to be your day 1 winner finals. St. Clair Green going up against one of West Virginia or Purdue Gold. We will get back to the action after a short break.